Hey, what's up? It's Chris from Chris Beat Cancer, and I'm down in Rosarito, Mexico at the Northern Baja Gerson Center with my friend, who many of you will recognize. It's Dr. Patrick Vickers.
Hello, Chris.
What's up, man? So, this is such a beautiful, amazing place. And as you know, I'm a big fan of the Gerson Protocol, big fan of Dr. Vickers, and finally got a chance to come down and actually see his place. And it is so much better than the pictures on the website. In fact, I took some new pictures for him because really, you have no idea how beautiful this is. We're right on the beach. You can see the ocean behind us. There's a stone pathway that takes you down to a little, basically a little private beach. And the sun's shining. It's just a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And I've been drinking juice all day.
Yeah, it's been time to do an enema.
Yeah, no enemas for me today. but so yeah, this is really great. The food is delicious. I mean, the patients that are here are just some of the sweetest, most wonderful people. I've had a chance to spend a lot of time with them, and we're going to spend some more time with them in about an hour, and so yeah, I just kind of wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience on video, and this would be my first choice if I went anywhere. This is where I would come.
Yeah.
So will you? I think this would be helpful. Can you kind of take us through a day in the life of a Gerson patient here, just to kind of what the day looks like? Because it's pretty scheduled, although it's a beautiful place and it's very relaxing. Yeah. But it's also there's a pretty it's
very
scheduled
strict
out.
regimen.
Yeah, it's a strict regimen, but it's nothing like being in a hospital.
Absolutely not. In fact, when people come here, they express pretty much what you've expressed, that when they come here, it's more like a resort than it is a hospital for cancer, and it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. But our patients, they wake up at 7 in the morning, and they take their first coffee enema of the day. And then at 8 o'clock in the morning, we have breakfast, which always is oatmeal with stewed dried fruits, apricots, prunes, raisins, all organic, of course.
It was delicious.
Peaches, flax oil, sucanat, which is an unrefined dehydrated cane sugar. So that's typically breakfast with fresh squeezed orange juice or grapefruit juice. And then after that, at 9 o'clock, they have yoga with Trish. 3 or 4 days a week, and then at 10 o'clock they have their second enema. At 2 o'clock they have their third enema.
But there's some juice in between there.
There's juices every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
13 juices a day.
Yeah. From
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night, and they get one in the middle of the right in the beginning of the day. They get 3 within an hour. Right in the beginning of the day. So they're getting juices all day long. They get 5 coffee enemas per day.
And the juices are basically alternating, like a carrot apple juice with a green juice.
That's right.
I mean, essentially that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, and then lunch is at 1 o'clock, and this is where they have lunch, right here where we're having this interview, on the balcony on the second floor, overlooking the ocean. Right now it's the prime season for whales going back to Alaska. All you have to do is sit out here for about an hour, and you're more than likely to see 1 or 2 whales go by.
We saw a whale, saw a couple dolphins.
Yeah.
At lunch right here. I'll post a picture that I took at lunch.
Okay.
Now.
So so the regimen is rather strict. A couple times during the week, Trish, who does yoga with us, she'll take the patients and the companions out on a little excursion somewhere. You can do some horseback riding on the beach. You can go downtown Rosarito, do some shopping in the shopping district there. Sometimes
they've got a zip line that goes right. No, I'm just kidding. Although, not a bad idea.
Well, a lot of ideas thrown around here. That probably would not be one of them. But anyway. Sometimes we take our patients down to Ensenada, and we'll rent a private boat, and we'll take them around Ensenada Bay where they can see dolphins again, and sea lions, and so just there is a lot of things to do. Even though the schedule is very strict and very regimented, which it has to be if you're going to cure advanced terminal cancer. I mean, this is no cakewalk. We make it very clear that your life is about to change if you want to cure yourself of an advanced disease. But there's certainly a lot of time to just relax, wind down. You can hear the waves all day long. It truly is probably the best facility in this region. I've been told by the people who do dendritic cell treatment, for example, they go around to all the clinics to do dendritic cell treatments for those clinics, and every time they come here they say this is the premier facility in the area.
Hey,
and
for what it's worth, I've visited I don't know, 6 or 7 clinics down in this area, and this is definitely my favorite.
yeah, it's,
You know, like I said, I already said it in the video, I mean, this is where this would be my first choice. Not that the other clinics are bad or that they aren't helping people, but I love this setting, I love their approach. I just think I really just love it. I mean, that's the word.
yeah, it's really,
I mean, I've got a picture, we'll post this on the video, you know, of one of the patients here who is getting an IV treatment. What was she getting?
she was getting IV
Vitamin C at that?
either vitamin C chelation or Laetrile. I think she was getting IV vitamin C chelation on that IV.
Yeah, laying out here sunbathing, getting a vitamin C IV, and here's that picture.
You know, so you know, we've really created a special place here in the last year and a half, and not just the facility itself, but you talk to anybody who's been to my clinic and they'll tell you that my staff is second to none. My staff is just absolutely beautiful. They're loving, they're servants to their core.
Yeah, just sweet people.
Yeah,
you can
and
just tell they very caring, very sweet.
yeah.
So
and
and they're here so much, and this is a small place. I mean, so you just know everybody. All the staff knows your name.
That's right.
All the patients know everybody in the staff's name.
That's right.
It's just such a very intimate, and it's so different. I mean, it's nothing like any medical experience you've ever had.
Yeah, this isn't a place where you come in, you get a therapy, and you leave. You literally dwell with people suffering from, you know, the same thing. You're with them for 3 weeks. And the bonds that you create here are bonds that will last forever. And when people leave here, they often leave in tears, because it's an experience that changes their life on so profoundly on many different levels. And I'm really proud of what we've created here, and the more people we can get down here, the merrier.
I'm gonna cry when I leave tomorrow, and I've only been here a day and a half.
It's
awesome.
a special place. I often get tears in my eyes, you know, on a daily basis, just looking at what's going on here and seeing the friendships that are being made, and the people being healed
and the results. And I don't know if we said this already, but I just wanted to add that, you know, all the patients, they're eating together. It's very communal. I mean, they're eating breakfast and lunch together,
and dinner
together, and they're often having juices together. And whether it's inside, if it's a little chilly in the morning, or they may be outside on the balcony where we are eating, like we just had lunch. And it's just so cool. I mean, you're just not going to get that. You're certainly not going to get that in an American hospital. Absolutely not.
And you know, with the setting we've created here, it really does make it more peaceful and more intimate, and like I said, many tears are shed when people leave.
So I wanted to ask you about PNC 27. This is something we talked about earlier, and that's a therapy that I don't know much about, but I know you've incorporated that. So what is that?
That's a new therapy. We think it's one of the greatest discovery in cancer since Gerson and Coley's together. PNC 27 was essentially discovered by accident by 3 researchers at SUNY, New York, upstate New York. They believed that you could decode or code the genetic map to find a cure for cancer, and they ended up finding a protein that it folds when it comes in contact with a cancer cell or a denatured cell, an abnormal cell, that it folds its protein upon the membrane, and it literally burrows holes in the cell membrane of a cancer cell while protecting normal cells. It only binds to abnormal cancerous cells, and it causes immediate violent cell death of the cancer cell.
So would you say it's enzyme based or protein based?
It's a protein base, and the protein comes from a fruit fly and a moth. They discovered this, like, I guess in databases around the world, they have protein structures of all these different living materials.
Yeah.
And they came across this one protein combination of a fruit fly and a moth. And that specific protein structure folds itself around a cancerous membrane, burrows a hole in it, and when you burrow a hole in that membrane, the osmotic pressure between the inside of the cell and the outside of the cell causes it to immediately implode. And we are seeing phenomenal results with it thus far in our patients. For example, George from Tampa came to us with
Hey, George.
terminal colon
George.
cancer. From Tampa came to us with terminal colon cancer with lung metastasis. So that's perfect, obviously, for the Gerson therapy and PNC, because PNC, one of its delivery systems, is through nebulization. Nebulization is breathing it in. So if you can breathe it in, it goes directly into the lungs. Well, here we are 6 months removed from George leaving our clinic, and George is completely cancer-free. And that's terminal colon cancer with lung metastasis.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is a remarkable story, and we look forward to hearing more of that story when his 2 years are completed on the Gerson therapy. I mean, yeah, he's cancer-free after 6 months, but we need to continue rebuilding that body so that the cancer doesn't come back, and that's a 2-year process on the Gerson therapy.
That's an important point to touch on, because a lot of patients will get phenomenal results being here for 3 weeks or being on Gerson for 6 months, or,
That's right.
a lot of nutritional protocols for a short time. But it takes time to really heal and quote-unquote cancer-proof your body.
That's right.
And just like chemo will shrink a tumor or make a tumor disappear temporarily, but it doesn't solve the underlying problem, and it doesn't get to the root cause. And so cancer often comes back after conventional treatments, and it can come back after a alternative or nutritional natural treatment if you don't maintain a healthy lifestyle, and especially if you don't see it through for 2 years.
That's right.
And then maintain a healthy lifestyle in perpetuity.
One of the
for
biggest
life.
One of the biggest mistakes that our patients often make is that somebody like George, who's 6 months, after 6 months is cancer-free, they'll stop the therapy.
Yeah.
They think, hey, I'm cured, no worries, I'm going to go back to, they try to maintain a relatively healthy lifestyle, but they do go back to doing some of the things that caused their cancer in the first place. And I guarantee you,
Back to Burger King.
if George goes back to doing anything remotely similar, even 20% of what he was doing before, his cancer will come back, and come back very quickly. It's not until 2 years have come through that you can pretty much announce somebody being cured. Gerson figured out that after so many generations of liver regeneration, that he could pronounce his patients cured. And I want to say it was somewhere in the turnover of 50 cell generations of liver regeneration, and that takes that's a 2-year period. Liver cells regenerate very quickly. But he determined that after about 50 cycles of liver regeneration, that's when he could pronounce his patients cured. But it's imperative that even though the cancer's gone, so to speak, it's undetectable in his body. He is going to have to continue this regimen for the next 1.5 years, or the cancer will more than likely come back.
That's good. Very good to keep in mind. Okay, well, I think that concludes this video.
Yeah.
And if you have never seen any of the video interviews I've done with Dr. Vickers, please watch them. They're incredible. We've done 3 or 4, I guess now.
4 or 5.
Maybe
This is
5.
our 5th, yeah.
Okay. And he talks about the history of Gerson. He talks a lot more about the therapy, the science behind the therapy. We've got a whole video that's dedicated to Q&A that we've done. So yeah, watch these videos, share them with people that you care about, and subscribe to my channel. Check out chrisbeatcancer.com. That's where you'll find lots of nutrition and natural cancer therapy information, as well as a lot of incredible survivor stories, people that have healed, not just survivors from chemo. I'm talking about people that have used nutrition, natural therapies, Gerson therapy, etc., to restore their health and live 5, 10, 15, 20 years, so and are still alive today. So that's important. Anyway, anything you want to add?
Yeah. We have one more interview that we've been putting off for quite some time, and that's taking everybody through the very specific supplement protocol that we have our patients on. Going through the science of each individual supplement that we do, because there is a specific science and it's all related to cellular metabolism. So that's probably one of our last interviews that we really need to do. And if anybody has any questions, they can go to our website, www.gersontreatment.com. Gerson, Gerson, gersontreatment.com.
I'll put a link below the video as well.
And if anybody has any questions about PNC 27, they can write me at info@gersontreatment.com, and I can send them some more information on PNC.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to close this video with some photos I took of the Northern Baja Gerson Center. Enjoy.